Papua New Guinea's transport sector can no longer remain a sleeping giant. Transport Minister Mickey Kayok is urging key stakeholders to enact bold reforms to awaken the sector and deliver real economic impact. The newly sworn-in National Maritime Safety Authority Board was challenged recently to take decisive action and drive progress within the sector. Donila Dabuya reports.
Maritime transport is the backbone of trade, fisheries, energy exports, and national connectivity. For many, especially those living in coastal and island communities, safe and dependable maritime services are essential for accessing goods and services vital to daily lives. The National Maritime Safety Authority is the government statutory authority that is responsible for regulating maritime safety, search and rescue, and controlling marine environment pollution. Addressing the new board and staff of NMSA last week in Port Moresby, Transport Minister Mickey Kayok says the role of the authority is not only central to safeguarding lives, but also to driving economic growth and reinforcing the nation's reputation within the global community.
Maritime safety systems fail, lives are lost. When navigation infrastructure is neglected, trade is disrupted. When governance is weak, confidence, both national and international, is eroded. Conversely, when leadership is strong and institutions function effectively, the benefits are felt across the economy and throughout the society. Today's ceremony formally marks the assumption of responsibility by newly appointed board members. By taking the oath of office, you are accepting not only statutory appointment, but also a solemn obligation to act in the best interest of the state, to safeguard lives at sea, to protect our maritime environment, and to ensure that Papua New Guinea continues to meet its international maritime obligations with integrity and credibility.
Despite many maritime challenges, the authority continues to safeguard lives and protect marine environments. Minister Kayok has urged the new board members to prioritize maintaining and upgrading navigation aids to international standards and promoting maritime safety.
For too long, the Transport Ministry has been described as a sleeping giant. Under my leadership, it is my firm desire and vision to awaken this sleeping giant and bring it to life through strong policy frameworks, decisive leadership, and disciplined implementation. In my short time as minister responsible, we have already made several submissions to the National Executive Council, many of which have been approved. Very recently, last week, seafish craft that will be traveling to save the rural population around the coastal areas of this country. And it will be manufactured in this country in consultation with AirX Singapore. I give you my assurance that the NAC decision will not remain on paper. I will personally see it that they are implemented so that they deliver real positive impact for development of this beautiful country.
Transport Minister believes stronger financial sustainability will position NMSA to contribute more to government revenue through the lawful enforcement of maritime laws, including penalties on vessels that breach requirements.
My first clear expectation is the MNSA must move towards becoming a self-sustaining authority. We must reduce unnecessary expenditure, manage our resources more prudently. I expect the new board, under the leadership of the chairman, to seriously consider long-term investments, such as securing MNSA-owned headquarters building instead of continuing reliance on rented office space. I also expect the board to explore staff housing arrangements. I firmly believe that when you look after your workers, they will give you the best return. And this principle must be guide your policy direction as a board. Secondly, Papua New Guinea LNG project, as I think I overheard our acting CEO has said about 700 or some thousands of ships passing through. We will expect more because the LNG is expected to commence operations which will result in a significant increase in vessel traffic in Papua New Guinea waters. MNSA must not be a passive observer in this growth. It must be an active, strategic participant. I expect the new board to provide policy direction on how MNSA can increase its non-tax revenue, particularly under the non-tax revenue administration framework.
Minister Kayok has pledged to engage directly with the Prime Minister and the Treasury to ensure a greater proportion of the revenue is retained for operational purposes, enabling the authority to effectively discharge its mandate.
At the same time, our navigation aids must be brought up to and maintained at international standards. Lighthouses, beacons, and other aids to navigation must be fully functional. We cannot afford maritime incidents, collisions, oil spills under our watch, especially as vessel traffic increases. Safety must remain non-negotiable. Thirdly, the job at purchase presents both a strategic responsibility and economic opportunity. I expect the new board to examine how these purchases can generate revenue for the country while enhancing safety and environmental protection. Papua New Guinea's agreement with the International Maritime Organization is current, and this places us in a practical way forward plan that involves sector partners and affected communities. As Minister, I am prepared to take this work to the National Executive Council and, where necessary, to Parliament for legislative reform to strengthen MNSA's authority in implementing these pledges. Importantly, I want to see Papua New Guineans actively participating in this everyday business generated by this strategic maritime corridor.
The National Maritime Safety Authority finally has its full board. The new members bring experience to help the authority deliver in the next 3 years. Chairman Charles Kasman represents the coastal region. Deputy Chairman Matthew Wawoni has 30+ years in transport. Other members include Captain Max Stossel, Dr. Cecilia Nembo, Wilson Olej, and Niel Papenfus.